Cinéma Verite, also known as direct cinema, was a French film movement of the 1960s, invented by Jean Rouch, inspired by Dziga Vertov's theory about kinopravda, known as film truth, and influenced by Robert Flaherty films. The term first gained popular currency in the early 60s as a description of Jean Rouch's Chronique de Ité. The essential element in cinéma vérité is the act of filming real people in uncontrolled situations.
We decided to make a film without any script, without any scenario. The human beings, the people we film, were not objects, they were subjects of the film, they were human beings.
The filmmaker does not function as a director, nor for that matter, as a screenwriter. In a cinéma vérité film, no one is told what to say or how to act. Cinéma vérité is a particular style of documentary filmmaking. The goal is essentially to capture the reality of a person, a moment, or an event without any rearrangement for the camera. Post-war development in magnetic sound recording allowed in lighter, portable cameras, particularly 16mm. This lens allowed a less intrusive filmmaking style, thus allowing the fly-on-the-wall effect. However, in order to capture these moments, handheld cameras and mobile sound equipment must be used, and despite best efforts, the camera sometimes jiggles. Rather than following the usual technique of shooting sound and picture together, the filmmaker first tapes actual conversations, interviews, and opinions. After selecting the best material, he films the visual material to fit the sound, often using a handheld camera. The film is then put together in the cutting room. In editing, the problems of narrative clarity, continuity, and dramatic emphasis has become paramount. Because cinéma vérité proceeds without stage sequences and no artificial sound, including music, the raw material becomes the basis for continuity as well as emphasis. Filmmakers quickly understood that they would need many close-ups to build a sequence because the conversations of the master shot might not be available to them. Generally, continuity would come from the soundtrack rather than the visuals. Although cinéma vérité films are a great step into the lives of others, they may take a very long time to be created. In an interview with Nick Poppy, Frederick Wiseman spoke about his documentary Domestic Violence. It took him 8 weeks to film, and he spent a year editing it before it was shown on PBS. This just shows the passion these filmmakers have towards their work.
This film and the making of it was the single most important thing in my professional life as a movie maker. It gave me the instinct, if you will, to just let things happen and to create something where people who weren't there could have been there if once they've seen the film. Marvelous thing for us to inform everybody of what's really going on.
The cinéma vérité movement was criticized for too often degenerating into reportage rather than artistic expression. Cinematographers believed films were becoming documentaries. In actuality, however, these films had a sense of intimacy that was rarely experienced opposed to widescreen experience.